Good morning. Please come in. Please have a seat.
It is 2 in the morning. You are exhausted. You have been exhausted since 9 o'clock last night, but here you are, staring at the ceiling again. Your body aches a little, your mind won't stop, and every time you check the clock, another hour has disappeared. Sound familiar? Here is something you may not know. Studies show that nearly 60% of adults over 60 struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep every single night. That is not a small problem. That is a quiet epidemic nobody is talking about. You may have heard of something called the military sleep method. Soldiers have used it to fall asleep in under 2 minutes, even in combat zones. People all over the internet swear by it. But here is the question nobody is asking. Why does it seem to work for everyone except you? Stay with me. By the end of this video, you are going to have the answer and a version that finally works for people over 60. First, I want you to hear something important. This is not your fault. You did not suddenly become a bad sleeper. You are not anxious for no reason. You are not weak because you cannot drift off the way you used to. Your body has been through decades of life. It has earned every one of those years. But here is the truth. The sleep advice everywhere online was not written for you. It was written for stressed-out 30-year-olds. And when you try those techniques and they do not work, that quiet voice inside you says, maybe something is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with you. What is missing is information that accounts for how the body actually changes after 60. Information that most doctors never have time to share. Information that, once you have it, makes everything suddenly make sense. That is what we are here for today. So let us talk about what is actually happening inside your body after 60 and why sleep becomes so much harder. Think of your brain as having a built-in sleep clock. When you were younger, that clock rang loud and clear. By 9 or 10 at night, your body floods with a hormone called melatonin. Think of it like a gentle sleeping potion your brain makes on its own. It told every cell in your body, time to wind down and time to rest. Here is what happens as we age. That melatonin signal gets quieter, much quieter. In fact, after 65, your body may be producing only a fraction of the melatonin it once did. The clock is still there, but the alarm barely rings anymore. Research shows melatonin production can drop by up to 70% as we age. Yet this is rarely mentioned in standard sleep advice. On top of that, something called deep sleep, the most restoring kind, starts to shrink. When you are in your 30s, deep sleep made up around 20% of your night. By the time you are over 60, that number can drop to just 5%. That means you might sleep 8 hours and still wake up feeling like you barely slept at all. And there is one more thing. Your nervous system becomes more sensitive with age. Small noises, small worries, even a slight drop in room temperature. Things that would not have woken you at 40 now jolt you wide awake at 3 in the morning. So when you try the standard military sleep method, which relies on deep muscular relaxation and mental imagery, you hit a wall. Because your nervous system is on higher alert than it used to be, and your melatonin signal is too faint to finish the job. Ignoring this is the mistake that keeps millions of seniors exhausted, night after night. But now that you understand why it is happening, we can fix it. Here is the good news. The military sleep method is not broken. It just needs 3 very simple adjustments that account for everything we just talked about. These adjustments took what was already a powerful technique and made it work for people over 60, 65, and 70 plus. Most doctors never mention this. Most sleep articles never go this deep. But you are going to know exactly what to do by the time this video ends. Let us get into it. Here is your senior adapted military sleep method. 6 steps. Do them in order. Do not skip any. Each one builds on the last. Step 1. The 90-minute wind-down signal. The original military method begins the moment your head hits the pillow. But for people over 60, that is too late. Your nervous system needs a longer runway. Starting 90 minutes before bed, begin dimming everything around you. Lights, screens, Conversations. Think of it as telling your body quietly and gently that the day is ending. The reason this matters is that bright light, especially the blue light from phones and televisions, blocks what little melatonin your body is still trying to produce. 90 minutes of dim, warm light gives your brain the runway it needs to build up that sleep signal on its own. Even 30 minutes of blue light exposure at night can suppress melatonin production for up to 3 hours in adults over 60, far longer than in younger people. Step 2. The body scan done slower. The original military sleep method asks you to relax your face, your shoulders, your arms, and your legs, working down your body quickly. And it works beautifully for young soldiers under pressure. For you, slow it down to half the speed. Start with your forehead. Let it go completely smooth, no squinting, no tension. Then your jaw unclenched, lips slightly apart. Then your shoulders. Drop them away from your ears. Let your arms feel heavy against the mattress. Pause on each area for a full 10 seconds. Here is why this matters for you specifically. As we age, we carry more unconscious tension in our muscles. Years of stress, old injuries, and joint discomfort, it all adds up. Moving slowly through the body scan allows tight muscles to actually release, rather than just skim past them. Chronic muscle tension from years of accumulated stress is one of the leading hidden causes of sleeplessness in adults over 65, and most people have no idea they are doing it. Step 3. The 4-7-8 breath. This is the hidden piece that makes the whole method work for older adults. Here is what you do. Breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 7. Breathe out slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. That is one cycle. Do it 4 times. This breathing pattern activates something called your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in calm-down system. Think of it like flipping a switch inside you from alert to rest. And because seniors have a more sensitive nervous system, this breathing technique creates a much stronger calming response than it does in younger adults. You are literally telling your body at a biological level that there is no danger, that it is safe to sleep. This breathing pattern was originally developed by Harvard-trained Dr. Andrew Weil, who called it the single most powerful relaxation technique he had ever encountered. It works in under 90 seconds. Step 4. The weighted blanket trick. Now, the original military method does not mention this, but research has found something fascinating for people over 60. Light physical pressure like a heavier blanket, or even simply tucking your covers snugly around you, triggers the release of serotonin in the brain. Serotonin is a calming chemical that your body converts into melatonin overnight. In other words, the feeling of being gently held or cocooned helps your body build the sleep signal it is struggling to produce on its own. You do not need to buy an expensive weighted blanket. Simply pull your regular blankets firmly around you, covering your shoulders and tucking the sides. That gentle pressure is enough. Studies on adults over 65 found that using a light form of pressure therapy at bedtime reduced the time it took to fall asleep by nearly 40% over 2 weeks. Step 5. The 2-scene mind method. The original military technique asks you to picture one calming scene, like lying in a canoe on a still lake. And this is effective. But for people over 60, there's an even more powerful version. Choose 2 scenes, not 1. Here is why. As we age, our minds have more stored memories, more active thoughts, and more things pulling our attention. A single scene is sometimes not enough to keep the mind from wandering back to tomorrow's appointments or last week's conversation. 2 scenes work like a gentle loop. You visit the first scene for 30 seconds and really feel it, smell it, and hear it. Then you drift to the second, back to the first, back to the second. Your conscious mind becomes so gently occupied that it forgets to stay awake. Try a warm sandy beach at sunset and a quiet mountain cabin with a fire crackling. The mental movement between them is deeply hypnotic for the aging brain. Military recruits who mastered this visualization technique could fall asleep in under 2 minutes even while sitting upright in a chair with gunfire sounds playing nearby. Step 6. The cooling touch. This last step surprises a lot of people, and it is one of the most powerful. Your core body temperature needs to drop by about 1 to 2 degrees for deep sleep to begin. After 60, this temperature regulation becomes less efficient. Your body sometimes struggles to cool itself down the way it used to. Here is the simple fix. Before you lie down, wash your hands and wrists with cool, not cold water for about 30 seconds. Or, if you can tolerate it, have a slightly cooler room. Around 68 degrees is ideal. This small cooling signal is enough to tell your body that the temperature drop it needs has begun. It is like giving your internal thermostat a gentle nudge in the right direction. One NASA study found that strategic mild cooling of the extremities reduced sleep onset time by nearly 30%, even in subjects with chronic sleep difficulties. Now, before you try this tonight, I need to warn you about the #1 mistake that seniors make with sleep, and it will completely undermine everything we just covered. Watching the clock. I know it sounds simple, but it is devastating to your sleep. Here is why. Every time you check the time, whether it is on your phone, your nightstand clock, or a watch, your brain goes into calculation mode. How many hours do I have left? Am I going to be tired tomorrow? Will I fall back asleep in time? That one tiny mental act fires up the alert system in your nervous system. It undoes minutes of relaxation in seconds. The fix is simple but non-negotiable. Turn your clock away from you. Put your phone face down on the other side of the room. If you wake at night, do not check the time. Just return to your breathing. Return to your 2 scenes. Your body does not need to know what time it is. It needs to feel safe. That is your only job. Imagine waking up tomorrow and actually feeling rested, not dragging yourself out of bed, not reaching for 3 cups of coffee before you feel human, but genuinely, quietly refreshed, ready, present. Imagine spending a whole day without that foggy heaviness behind your eyes. Imagine being in a good mood by 9 in the morning. Imagine having the energy to do the things you love, a walk, time with family, reading, gardening, without counting down until you can rest again. That is not a dream for other people. That is what consistent, real sleep can give back to you. You deserve that. At 60, at 70, at any age, you deserve a full night of rest. And now, for the first time, you have a method that was actually designed with your body in mind. Start tonight. Before you go, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what is your #1 sleep struggle right now? Is it falling asleep in the first place? Waking up at 3 and not being able to get back? Or just never feeling truly rested no matter how long you stay in bed? Your answer helps us make better videos for you, and you might just help someone else feel less alone in what they are going through. If this video gave you something useful today, something nobody else was telling you, please subscribe. We post every week with honest, practical health information made specifically for people over 60. No fluff, no fear-mongering, just real guidance you can actually use. And next week, we are covering something that affects nearly 80% of seniors over 70, and almost nobody connects it to their sleep. You will not want to miss it. Thank you for being here. Rest well tonight. You have earned it.